Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good to see you here after an amazing One Rental at a Time event. Had an absolute blast. Guys, thank you so much for each and every one of you. Sorry for the voice. It's still coming back. As you guys know, you have to shout a lot at that thing just because there's so much always going on. But thank you to each and every one of you who came up and introduced yourselves. Thank you for your patience in my trying to put faces to names. It's challenging because so many of you have screen names, so I don't know your real names, your real first names, but I appreciate every person that came up and said hi. Everybody that came up and introduced themselves to Ashley. We were happy to do pictures with you guys, signing, whatever you guys need. We were happy to do it. It was a lot of fun. We loved spending our first vacation. That was our first vacation away from all four of our kids. And we loved spending the two best days that we had there with you guys, because that's what it was. It was the two best days that we had there. We got into town on late on Thursday night, and then Friday really kind of spent the day recovering, and then we were at the event the next 2 days, and then Monday it was just what was left over. There wasn't a whole lot left over. There just wasn't a whole lot left over by the time Monday hit. It was a lot. And so it was just an honor and a pleasure to be there. Zoob put on a fantastic event, one rental at a time, first class. Did an amazing job, amazing speakers. We were fighting hard because, Dion was homesick. We were all sharing a house. And so D was homesick. What a warrior, like getting up and talking for the hour that he did. The dude's still sick as a dog. Love you, buddy. Missed not having you there. Mike really kind of running the event, and Dion and Mike, Millennial Mike and myself, we spent a lot of time spending time with you guys, having talks, having lunch table conversations, one-on-ones, interviews. We love doing that stuff with you guys. And so it was just such a great time. It was a great time to spend with my brothers, with Mike and with Dion. I was so bummed that D was so sick. But it was great spending time with Mike. He's been so super busy since being demoted, down to sergeant. So it was great. It was just great spending time with him, spending time with Simon, uneducated economist, Hyder. It was so awesome to spend time with those guys. Chesla, and she's awesome. She's a lot of fun to hang out with. But yeah, it was a great time. So we just really super honored to be spending that time with you guys. But yeah, it was amazing. So I'm super excited for next year. I believe Mike's doing next year. I think he's getting some kind of ideas together. I've pitched one idea already. We'll see what he thinks about that idea. Our plan right now is to be there for next year if there's an event, and I believe there will be. But all that being said, what I wanted to talk about tonight, aside from thanking everybody and letting you know how much fun we all had, we're still recovering. We took the red eye back that Monday night. And so we've been back in the swing of things, trying to just get caught up on sleep and our kids still in school and all that stuff. So I apologize for the yawn. I'm not trying to do that to you guys, but let's jump in real quick. So, utter and complete tenant domination today. One of the things that I think is really hard about being a landlord, is your fear of the unknown. There's so many things that you don't know. That's why I call my course what I call my course. There's a reason for it, right? I was sitting at the closing table and instantly fear crept in, and I'll never forget that moment. And it was all of these things popping into my head that I had no idea how to do. I didn't know how to do anything. All I really understood, Dion, get back to bed, dude. I love you, buddy. Get back to bed. But it was really, really hard and scary. And so, guys, that's why I did the course that I did, was because I remember exactly what that moment was like at the table, how scary it was at the table, realizing that I was completely in over my head. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have any of the tools that I needed to do what I wanted to do to be able to take care of you guys. it's just, guys, it was scary as anything. And so one of the scariest things, I don't know about you guys, but for me in the very beginning, one of the scariest things was going to the court. Going to court was just, I did everything I possibly could to not go to court. I was so afraid. I was like, man, what if they basically go there, and what if they take my house and the guy gets to live there for free for a year? And what if all of these things happen? And I was just scared out of my mind. I was completely scared out of my mind. And so that was why I made the course that I made. And so one of the really cool things, one of the really cool things about that and making the course was really remembering and putting myself in the position and talking to you, talking to newer investors all the time. What is the stuff that really impacts? What is the stuff that gets really scary? What is the stuff that I'm so afraid I'm going to make such a big mistake that, I'm going to be in a flat spin and it's unrecoverable? It's a Top Gun flat spin. And so, one of the things that scared me the absolute most was court. Court scared the daylights out of me. And so what I found in life is that if you start doing the thing that really scares you the most, then eventually you take all the smoke and mirrors away and it's not so scary anymore. And so that kind of leads into what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. And yeah, I will be checking my phone and looking at the USA Canada score. Guys, I'm a hockey guy. And my amazing wife is kind enough to be upstairs watching it. And so she's giving me updates. So the US tied it up. But the scariest thing, about going into that courtroom and, do I have a lease? Does the tenant have this like silver bullet? Did I do something wrong procedurally? Did just all of the stuff. That's why one of the things I teach you in the course is I want you to go to court. I want you to find out when the landlord tenant portions of court are for you. And I want you to go there and I want you to watch them. Now I'm going to add something to that. I want you to watch a small claims court case. I want you to go and I want you to see exactly how it works. I thought it was a certain way and it's not a certain way. It was a little bit different for me. But this is where I think it's really incredible. So the reason why I titled the thing Tenant Domination and Undefeated is because, as you might have guessed it, I was 24-0 and I am now 25-0. Rung up another win today, which I was super excited about. And the reason that I'm excited about that is not because it's like getting one over on the tenant, but very often people don't understand that tenants end up being the most abusive when it comes to abusing the court system, when it comes to lying. I find that, we don't need to do that stuff. We just are honest. And that's quite frankly why I'm 25-0. I'm not Perry Mason. I'm not Johnny Cochran. I'm decent at what I do, but what it really comes down to is you have to put in the work. Number one. Number two is listen, pay attention, understand, but expose yourself. I think I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. Kyle Dorn, exposure therapy. That's exactly what works in this case. You see procedurally what's going on. And so I'll talk to you guys today. But what's really interesting is I saw Farinelli's statement too, that everybody settles, maybe in Manchester, but not in other demilitarized or non-demilitarized zones. But what was really cool was, going to court today. I know that they're going to be there because, and this was a small claims and I was the defendant. I had a tenant take me to court, over a cleaning fee and how long it took the deposit to get back to them. In our state, it's law that I have to have it postmarked 30 days, within 30 days of them moving out, i.e. or the end of their lease. And so that's the rule here. And any deductions that we're going to take, we have to have a letter saying what the deductions were and why we took them. So that's been our process for quite some time. What our guys do is they go in the very first day that everybody's gone. They take pictures of everything. They look and see if there's anything outlandish. And then they look around, and the things that we have them kind of generally do is they walk through the apartment and see, do we need to bring cleaners in? But the other thing that they do is they look specifically in the bathrooms and the kitchens, because our new tenant, we don't want them to be grossed out. If the previous tenant did a great job cleaning up, we don't need to call the cleaners. If they didn't, we got to get the cleaners in there. Just one of those things. So that's what we do. So he calls, says, hey, we got to get the cleaners in there. So we do. We get the cleaners in there. And it was a nominal charge, 1,500 square foot apartment, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. And it's basically like it's like a condo. And so the cleaning fee was only $122. That's all. It's $120. So it's between 3 roommates, and so it's split 3 ways. So we go through this process, and where we send out the payments. We send out the letters, we send them certified. That's the way that you do it, because you want to make sure it's beyond reproach. So we send them out, and they don't get them. They don't get them. We're like, I don't know what to tell you. We sent it out. Sorry, didn't get it. Did you forward your mail? No. Okay. Well, we sent you a new address. You sent me a new address 9 days after you were supposed to, and 9 days after I could send out the latest letter. Couldn't send it out. Couldn't do anything. What would you like me to do about that? I can't bring the mail back. So what was interesting was I let them, so there's mediators there. Before you go in front of the judge, the mediator tries to handle it, because otherwise the judge will be there all day. So the mediator jumps in. She basically goes, hey, let's go grab a room. We go grab a room. They call in. They had actually said that they were going to call in, and they got that approved by the court. So they call in, and basically we're having the conversation, and he lays out his case, and he's using words like feelings and frustration and, not timely and too long to get to him, and and that I had to send a letter first, and all this other silliness. Now, if that were my first time, that would be really overwhelming. That would have been really overwhelming. That would have been really kind of scary. Because that was my 25th time, that was not overwhelming or scary at all. It more pissed me off. The reason that it pissed me off was because this person cites a statute. Now, know your statutes. When you're going through this, you'll hear attorneys raise the same statutes over and over and over again. You hear them. And so what you need to do is you need to know the statutes, and you need to know what you're leaning your case on. Because very often, where's Hyder when you need him? Very often it's case law or it's statutes is how you win your case. And so I go in, and they talking about feelings, talking about how they feel about this, and how they feel about that, what they think about this, what they think about that. And then she says, okay, what do you have to say? The mediator does. And I said, well, I'm going to take us right out of feelings and frustration, and I'm going to bring us right into the facts of the case, because I actually have all those. And I start listing out, and I said, RSA says this. You have to provide an address or forward your mail. But either way, that's on the tenant. That's not on the landlord, for obvious reasons. They failed to do so. So instantly they're done. I had every plan of returning their deposit. I can't do it if you didn't forward your mail, and I can't do it if you didn't give me a new address. That gets me off the hook right away on the 71 days and how long it took. We had actually set the stamp mark 28 days. So we sent it out to their last known address, which was our condo. That's where we sent it out. So we're off the hook on that one. Then the dispute becomes the cleaning fee. I said, what do you have to dispute that? I said, it's a 1,500 square foot, 4-bed, 2-bath house with a massive kitchen. And you're disputing a $100 cleaning fee. Based on what? What do you have? They didn't have pictures. They had feelings. And I said, well, I can appreciate that you have feelings, but I really don't care about those feelings. The fact of the matter is my guy showed up, and those things needed cleaning because they weren't fully cleaned. So we had to pay a cleaning company to clean them. Now, we'd also done a few hours worth of work, what we would call normal wear and tear repair. So we did that. And I said, I didn't charge you for those 4 hours. You guys were decent tenants. But if we go in front of that judge, I promise you I'm going to amend my case, because this is garbage. You're wasting my time. We then also showed that we sent them an email. All 3 of them, we sent them an email saying, you need to give us back your physical addresses, since you didn't forward your mail and since you didn't provide an address. So what address would you like it sent to? One kid responds, the other 2 don't. So guess who gets their check back? Then he said, you should have sent me the whole check. I'm not sending one person the whole check. Watch this. You guys get in a fight. You're no longer on speaking terms. I send you the check in full. You cash it and keep the money. The other 2 guys take me to court, and they don't get, and because why? Because I didn't give them back their deposit. Yeah, but I had it. Right, exactly. That's not how this works, pal. You can't make stuff up as you go along. That's not how this works. So all of this is from knowledge of watching other cases I've been in, again, over a 23-year period. If you want to speed up your process, just like you guys do the course, why do you pay for the course? You pay for the course because you're paying for my 23 years of experiences. Why do you go to court? You watch them go through what they go through, and you do it on somebody else's dime. Yes, it's your time, but it's their dime. And you're making sure that you don't make those same mistakes. That's what's critical. So today's title really wasn't all about how I absolutely dominated the tenant, even though that I did, and how I won because I did. We got out of it for only what we owed them for a security deposit. And that was the whole point. But they lost filing fees. They lost 5 months. From the time that they sued to the time that we had a hearing, it was 5 months. There was no need for it. Was I nervous going to court this morning? Nope. I love it there because I've been there 25 times. It doesn't scare me. It just is what it is, and we believe that we carried ourselves in the right way, and we did. So now what I would tell you is this. If that's something that you're nervous about, if you're a landlord and you're like, man, that's one of the things that really scares me. It's in my course. I teach you how to do this stuff. I teach you how to get prepared. I teach you how to build your case. I teach you how to have all of the things in place. Literally every single time they brought something up, boom, piece of paper. Oh yeah? Boom, piece of paper. Oh, that's interesting to say that because boom, piece of paper. Every single time they said something, I had the counter and I had it in black and white from them every single time. Man, what it must be like to be on that side and just feel absolutely pummeled, because that's what happened. So we got out of it today, returning their deposit like we had always planned on doing. Most importantly is it cost them 5 months. It cost them more money than what they were fighting for to actually get to this point. And it was all because we were well prepared and we handled ourselves well and we documented things as we should through the process. So if that's something that you're concerned about, is that something that makes you nervous? That's kind of why we do what we do, is because we can actually make all of those tummy birds. I don't call them butterflies because for me, they're like massive birds, but that's what we do with all those tummy birds. And that's how we get the tummy birds to go away. So without further ado, now I'll jump into questions, but that was kind of that. So let me roll through these quickly. Hey guys, good evening. Dennis, Wayne, Kyle, good seeing you guys all at the event. Great catching up with you guys. Absolutely, Kyle. Yeah, great catching up with you. Paul Lewis, hello all. Vegas was amazing. Thanks for kicking us off. Paul, my pleasure. It was an honor to do that with my wife, and you see how much fun we have doing this. So I'm super blessed. Buzztune, hey, good seeing you, Buzztune. I hope your shoulder feeling better, my friend. Missed you this year. Hopefully we'll see you next year. Herman Chan, hey, how are you? Great meeting you in Vegas as well. Oscar, hi, sir. How are you? Yeah, Friday was definitely a recovery day for getting into town for sure. Robert, hello, sir. Hey, Rankin Projects, how's it going? What's up? Good to see you. Jet lag is for sure real. Yeah, for sure it is. All-nighter, there he is. Ladies and gents, I'm on a job walk. Will be present in a few minutes. Good, cool. There's my buddy Dion. Dion, go back to bed, pal. I need you to get better. We got other stuff that we're going to do this year, so I need you to get better. I won't break Dion's amazing news. Oh, actually, I see somebody at the front of my office. Hold on one quick second. Talk amongst yourselves. I know that was probably the best part, right? So yes, 3 credits. Great meeting you in Vegas. You as well, master coach. We were rid of the kids too. Always nice. Yeah, I love my 4. Excuse me. I love my 4 kids, but it was great spending time with my wife, and that was our first vacation without them. So yeah, it was a great time. Really enjoyed it, and look forward to the next time too. Yeah, finally, I know, right? So Robert Farinelli and I live about an hour apart, but he's crazy busy and I'm crazy busy. And the funnest part is I finally got to meet him in Las Vegas. So I thought that was awesome. Dion, every time you hit the like button, an angel gets its wings. That's a true story. I've seen it happen. Master Coach will be caught up on sleep by tomorrow is the hope. I agree. So I need to take the course the second time already. Is 22 millware layer LVP overkill for a whole unit? No, I don't think so. The rule is with LVP, it's the same thing it is with a water heater. You put in more money, you get more time out of it. So if install is the same, I'd rather have stuff in there for a longer period of time. Chris Culp, hello. How are you, sir? Laura Samanigo, hi. Good to see you. Well, the rentals, hi, Matt and all. Hi. Rankin, yes, court was nerve-wracking, but in the end, it wasn't so bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. The key with court is sitting there watching procedurally what happens, but understanding, and that's one of the things that we really focus on in the course, is how to build your case properly. And, that's the most critical thing. I see people in court, landlords lose all the time because, I didn't have that. I don't have this. Well, this is actually what happened. They don't have the stuff that they need to win. I usually go into court with a manila folder. It's usually about a half an inch thick usually. And that has every piece of data in there that I need. And then I create my timelines and that's why I don't lose. I just don't lose. Wealth building journey. I talked to Master Coach University in Basilia about having the ORAP meetup about the reflection celebration of the past year and planning hairy, scary goals for next year. I love it. That's what we need to do, guys. That's what you need to do. Yes, Kyle Dorn exposure therapy. I totally agree. Wealth building journey. Thanks for posting the link. I think we're full. We're full for boot camp for now. We're talking about the next boot camp in September, maybe. I don't think I'm doing one this summer. Hey, everybody. Hey, Key, how are you? Tosa Dupes, first time looking at a whole seller deal. Can their prices be negotiated? Yeah, sure. Wholesaler prices can be negotiated for sure. Yeah, have the conversation with them for sure. It definitely can be. Ranking projects. I love just sitting there watching until I found out I was in the wrong room. That's awesome. That's so good. I was in the wrong room. Farinelli went to court. Everything settles. Never saw any action. Yeah, there it's a lot of settling. Go to a small town, not the city. Go to a small town. You won't see many settlements. Maria 28. I always have a walkthrough inspection done with pictures, and I incorporate the inspection in my lease. I never lose. That's awesome. Certainly is part of it. Yeah, it certainly is part of it. There's more. I think there's a lot more to it than that, because there's a lot more variable to the situations as they go. So the idea is it's more of a holistic approach about everything to do daily that ensures that when we go to court, we won't lose. Liz, hey, Matt and everyone. Hi, Liz. Ben Fopel, I have an older duplex that was working furnaces, but no central air. Would you recommend mini splits? No, I don't think so. Not unless you're in a super high heat climate. Wall hangers are fine. I mean, I think the issue that you're going to have is if you're making $1,000 a month on your unit and you can put in the 2 mini splits and it's going to take a year's worth of income, sure. But if it's going to be like 3 years worth of income, no, I wouldn't do it. Wall hangers are best. Well, the rentals, the house I thought will need a foundation work and will be called during appraisal was appraised without required work needed and was appraised for $35K more. Is that good? It's good from the perspective that your deal is still alive. It's bad potentially from the perspective that they didn't capture a hit on the value based on big work that needs to be done. So it can be seen both ways. The wealth building journey, feelings equal defeat in court. Yeah. It actually equals the spanking heard around the world is what it equals. Master Coach University. My wife and I wrote out our 2025 goals at the airport on our way home. I like that. Triplex, buy out the partner. I like that a lot. That's cool. It's on the top of the list. See how it's on the top of the list? Partners in this business are hard. Partners in this business are hard. I don't like to do partners. I like to do my own deals. So I do all my own deals. Maybe someday I would trial. Maybe someday I would partner, but maybe not. We'll see. We will see. Number 2, purchase a house to live in. House hack. I love that. That's one of my favorites. Do a flip, make at least 20K. Yeah. So what you're looking for when you're looking for the flip is depending on how many you've done. And number 2 is you want to make sure that that's great to have a goal of 20K. A lot of times people break even on flips, especially if it's their first or second one. In fact, a lot of them lose, like 80 something plus percent of people lose. So the idea of, hey, we want to kind of get this profitability, seeing it pretty clearly, because then if you end up at close to zero, it was still worth the experience. One of the things that I would tell you is, and this is one of the ways that I love when people use my course, is if they're doing a flip or if they're doing like a new investment project that they have a bunch of rehab, they'll actually get in the boot camp. And then while they're going through the boot camp, they're rehabbing the units. I love that. That's a great use of the boot camp. Wealth building journey, case law, statutes, and the applicability and interpretation thereof. Yeah. The key is that interpretation of feelings gets you nowhere. It's all about case law, and it's all about the statutes that you can point to specifically as being violation. Maria 28. I always state in the lease that the tenant must provide a forwarding address in writing. Yep, we did too. They just didn't read it. They didn't care. But it's state statute anyway. Either way, makes no difference. You didn't survive the law. You had unclean hands because you didn't do what you needed to do in order to trigger those other statements. So yeah. Wealth building journey. I've seen cases where people cite case law, but the judge said, I don't understand why you cite that. Of course, it does not apply to these circumstances, and the judge promptly dismissed the case. That's absolutely right. That's why I far prefer statute. Far prefer statutes. Because that's something that's on the books that they put on the books, nothing else. Whew. Had a hat on most of the day. Sorry. Angel R, crazy you're still dealing with those tenants nonsense. Were there any red flags to avoid crazy petty people like that? No, I think what was really interesting was they were a really good tenant. They were just unreasonable at the end when they wanted their deposit, and they didn't do what it took to get their deposit. We kept on telling them what to do and they wouldn't do it. But let's put it in perspective. They signed a 2-year lease. They paid $3,000 a month. Do the math. I was pretty happy with that number. $3,000 a month for 12 months times 2 is $72,000. They paid me $72,000 to live there. I'm fine. I'll be just fine. They paid me 72 grand. The other side, they pay a little bit more. So I made in 2 years, I made $144,000, actually like $150,000 on that building in 2 years. I can tell you my mortgage isn't nearly that. It's not even close. So yeah, it's fine. It's good. But again, the big key is that's where I want you guys to get to. That's why I love those duplexes. And, I think I've owned that one for maybe 8 years. I think. I'd have to look, but I think I've owned that one for like 8 years. So yeah, I've done pretty well with that building. But no red flags. They were higher credit scores. I didn't check their references because it didn't really matter. But yeah, they had the 3 pay stubs, or they had the 2 pay stubs. They had the 3 payments of the old landlord. They had credit. So they had the 3 things that I needed. And again, I think it was, who knew? And again, if you look at it, like over the 2 years, I think they called 4 times. Guys, 4 times in 2 years. That was pretty good. So they were difficult on the way out. It was fine. It was their fault. It was their misunderstanding. And at the end of the day, the tenant that was there apologized to me. And I appreciated the apology. I wasn't trying. And I told him, I said, I wasn't trying to be mean or difficult, but all I was asking you guys to do, and you guys wouldn't do it. And said, as soon as you did it, it was taken care of. That's kind of how it goes. So, and then that's what he apologized for. So yeah, no red flags there. But the best flag of all was that they paid, $72,000 to use the property for 2 years. That was my favorite color flag, which was green. Why does Dion have to go to bed? He's really sick. He's really sick. He had what I had in January, which was, and it's really, really bad. Hey, Coster, good to see you, pal. I'm getting caught up. I saw your email. We will definitely connect. I'll reach out to you. I'm still getting caught up. All nighter. This job walk is crazy. I'm trying to figure out how to connect 8 TVs as a restaurant menu board. They're not cooperating. There's usually some sort of an interface that does that. You can look it up, and I think it's an application that you can put on all the televisions. And when you download it to the TV, then that's what it actually shares. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's how the ones I've seen work anyway. How to know when you need permits? I pull permits. I just pull permits. If I'm doing work, most towns, if it's $500 or $1,000, I pull permits. Because here's the thing: if I go to sell the place and it looks like a bunch of stuff has been updated, they go and they look and see that there's been no permits pulled. Guess what? Then it's all unpermitted work. It could be as bad as they make you rip it out, or it could be as bad as, or they might not count it for the appraisal. I pull permits. What's the diff? Who cares? Pull the permit. Get the thing done. He's got to stop eating cake. I know, right? I don't think he wasn't eating much of anything. Poor guy. Dennis the Menace. Matt's piece of paper even beats scissors. That's true. That's true. Boom. That's right. Well done. Well done, Dennis. Well done. Hey, Trade Better, Evening Lumberjack. Thank you again for yours and Ashley's story. What question did you get this weekend that stuck with you the most? I don't think it was a question so much as it was a comment. And the comment was, that was really helpful. It helped my wife and I see things a bit differently. That was the thing that we heard the most. And it also meant the most to us. I'm the presenter in the family, and Ashley did an amazing job. But that was a lot of work for her to put those pieces together for us to kind of talk about it beforehand. But I didn't put that presentation together. She did. I just gave tips and points. And so she did a great job. I was super pumped, but that was the thing. That's why we did it. That's why we kind of we're out there to bear it all and share with you guys. This is exactly how bad it went. I said to her, I go, with how many times you talked about the fact that I make you cry, I'm worried that people are going to think that I'm mean to you. I'm not mean to her. She just didn't really like the truth in the beginning. And it was just, that was kind of the problem. Jack Stewart sent you a couple of emails. Great meeting you in Vegas. Jack, I will definitely check them out. I'm behind, but I'm working through. I'm handling all my business stuff first because that was, fire. Ben Fopel, blinds or curtains? Blinds. Matt, what are your thoughts on a lease options, land contracts, contract for deed? So I approve all of them. It's just a matter of how they're done. So yeah, yes, I agree I like all of them. Oh, okay. So guys, Basilio, how are you, sir? Good to see you as always. We bumped into Basilio walk in Vegas and then we saw him at the event. It was awesome. Good dude. So Dion, congratulations to our good buddy, Dion. He is now going to be a speaker at BPCon. How awesome is that? Right? Super pumped for my buddy. He works so hard. He's lazy liar. He works so hard at being valuable to all of us. Yeah. He's friendship is valued on me. I love him like a much, much older, less handsome brother. Now I know how all his brothers feel. But yeah, I'm so super pumped for him. He totally deserves it. It's a huge value add, helps out a ton of people. And yeah, I'm super psyched for him. So yeah, you heard it here first. I don't think he's announced it yet, but yeah, BPCon 2025, Dion's going to be a speaker there. So congratulations to him. And if you haven't seen his video over on Bigger Pockets, check it out. He did one on the big channel, which was so super awesome. Jim Van Tessel, good evening all. Hey, Jim, good to see you here. Dennis Menace, how do your kids not play with those Matchbox cars? So they have a ton of their own Matchbox cars. These are all antiques. These are all 60s and 70s and early 80s. antique Matchbox and Hot Wheels. Yes. Like button and go. Yes. Like button and go. Yeah. Hit the like button and go. Well, don't leave. Just hit the like button. So sometimes you have to go back out and come back in to hit the like button, but accepted. Accepted. Chris Culp. Huzzah. I agree. Huzzah. Jeremy Kirkwood. How you doing, pal? Hey, Matt, finishing a flood remediation. Happy to be here. Inherited tenants in a portfolio we bought. Have me going to court bi-weekly this year. Oh, dude. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Oh, that's awful. Oh. Lars, I'm watching the hockey game as well as USA tied with Canada. Awesome. Thanks, Lars, for keeping me in the loop. I love it. Lars, my fellow hockey dude. It was great meeting Lars and your wife, Becky. It was fantastic to meet you guys. So really excited that I got a chance to do that. Richard McGough or McGuff? McGough. Kyle, chair looks comfy. It is actually pretty comfy. And you know what's really funny about this? This is a $5 charity yard sale. Lumberjack for the win. Ashley was delightful to meet in person. Thanks, Chris Culp. I think so. Yeah, she's great. She's an awesome wife. We worked really hard to build this business. And sometimes it was against each other. Not on purpose. But yeah, she's a great wife. Jack Stewart, legend is back. Here I am. Anna K. Hi, Anna K. I hope you're doing great. Lars, Matt, thank you for your help in Las Vegas. My wife is a lot more involved now, and now we are pivoting to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Congratulations, Lars. That's great. We love it. Guys, the one thing, if you please watch when the videos come out, but the one thing that my wife and I really talked about, or the one thing that I really talked about when my wife would give me a chance to speak, was the most important team is the one in your household. So if you recognize that, then you'll do really, really well. Robert Farinelli. So it looks like I'm closing tomorrow. The seller's lawyer strikes again. I am not closing tomorrow. Oh, man. Dude, this seller's lawyer is a pain in the ass. I'm sorry, pal. Stick with it. It's a great transaction. Stick with it. Corby Carter, any update? Yes, sir. I have a call with them tomorrow. So I should have something back to you tomorrow afternoon with an update. Yeah. Let's see. Well, for rentals, the lender said that underwriter may ask appraiser for comments about the unfinished floor from the pictures. The lender said that the underwriter may ask appraiser for comments about the unfinished floor from the pictures. It's possible. So when you're using a Fannie Freddie loan, they have something called a C score that most people don't know anything about. So listen up. It's called a C score. You know what the C stands for? Condition. They rank it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it hits a 4, you're not getting you're not getting a loan, and they flag it and they won't give you a loan. And then you're going to have to find private money to do a deal, or you're going to have to find a bank that's going to portfolio the deal. Because Fannie Freddie, if they flag that address, you're done. You're not going to get it unless that work gets done. So that happens for sure. Paul Lewis, hey Matt, I need a spot in your boot camp. Hey Paul. If you buy the course, I'm not sure if you bought the course, so forgive me. I'm not looking at the folder right now. I'm not looking at the list. If you've bought the course, you can purchase the upgrade to the boot camp. If you need the boot camp, the way that it works is if you buy the boot camp now and you don't get in the boot camp now, you can get in the boot camp. You get first shot at a later period. We have people in this boot camp that bought the boot camp last year, but they just wanted to be at the top of the list. So they got first shot of whether or not they wanted to attend when they wanted to attend. You don't lose your spot. You always get the chance to attend a boot camp. It's just up to you which boot camp you want to attend. That's what we do. So if you want it, you can go buy the spot for a boot camp. And then you get basically when the next one comes up, or we might have one spot left in this one. I committed it to somebody, but they haven't signed up yet. So kind of too bad, so sad. But that's what you should do. We committed a couple. One of them signed up. They're all set. They're ready to go. Guys, there's going to be a kid in this boot camp. Teenager. Driven. Hard. Impressive. Anna K, glad to hear you're so much better. Non-congestion. Yes. Orat trip must have done right. Yeah. The best night's sleep that we got was the last night's sleep that we got. We all stayed in an Airbnb together. I love staying with my brothers. I love staying with them. I love staying with D, and Mike. Yui and Hyder were with us, which was an absolute blast. Justin Camera was with us as well. Love spending time with him. We spend time at the event every year together. He's a great dude, cool investor, retired from Amazon young. Love spending that time there, but this time we had some challenges. We had some bed challenges. Not like a lack of number of them, more like the softness of them. And I'm big. See, I'm big. And so the rolling to the center was a challenge. Herman Chan, going to buy a new stacked washer dryer from Home Depot with 5-year warranty for an MTR. You think it's worth it? I don't buy 5-year warranties. If your product is such crap that I have to buy an extra warranty on top of it, I don't buy your product. Yeah, I don't. And as far as depending on how small or big the unit is, I like the combi units. You can buy a 4.5 cubic foot or even a 2 cubic foot combi unit. They're great for smaller places. If it's more than 2 bedrooms, I wouldn't do it. But if it's a couple of bedrooms, that's what I would do. Well, the rental, sorry, I couldn't be in Vegas this year. Yeah, bummer that you weren't, but that's okay. Like, we'll see you next year. I hope there's next year, and I hope you're there next year. That's amazing late. Excited for you guys. Yeah, cool. Yes. Angel R, can I get in legal trouble if I don't allow tenants basement access? No. The electrical panel is there. I don't mind driving to flip breakers back on. No. Not in my state you can. I don't know about your state, but not in my state. We don't have to give people access to that. Just so long as we're readily available and we can get it turned back on for them. Kyle Dorn, partner's only good for 2 things, dancing and screwing. That's not true. And I'm older than you, so I know better. Jim Van Tassel, that's good. I'm under contract for a 1/2 acre, 2 houses per. I love it, Jim. We're ready, baby. Let's do this. Yes. Fairnelly, once I close on the house during boot camp, I'm going to do a walkthrough of a unit to do something different. What would you do to get a unit up and running? Cool. Happy to do it. The way that, for those of you guys who don't know, the way that we do it in the boot camp is it is 2 hours long. Sometimes it goes to 3. We have to try and stick better to 2, only because I want people to get access to the information easier. And we're trying to stick more to 2. So what we do though, is that if somebody specifically has a specific project to walk us through, you can have up to 10 minutes. Can't have more than 10 minutes because that's not fair to the rest of the group, but we will take 10 minutes and we'll go through, we'll view it, we'll talk about it, but we want to keep that to 10 minutes because we want to make sure that other people have the ability to bring up their ideas, what they're battling with. The first 10 or 15 minutes of the class, we cover what was in the lessons. We go through that stuff. As we go through that stuff that's in the lessons, then we go over into hey, where do you need me? How can I help? And then I become lumberjack in your pocket. Hopefully it's a big pocket. Wealth and rentals. Oh, sorry. Super chat. Let me just roll down. Oh my goodness. You guys are awesome. Master Coach University, RE section 8. We used to negotiate rent raises with the tenant's counselor, but now the counselor is out of the loop. New system is totally opaque. No reachable human. Now a voucher tenant with 6 kids moving into our 4-2. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Originally, we set the rent for $2,500. Rent box equals $2,250. FMR $3,800. But with the changes, it seems we should negotiate for top dollar with housing. The 4-bedroom vouchers for this zip are around $3,500. Comps available in the 3,000 range. Should we play hardball? I would. And the reason why that I would is that we based so. Here's the argument that I would make. Occupancy based. Based on it being 4 bedrooms and 2 baths, we figured that we had 4 tenants and with 2 bathrooms. That's a certain amount of water usage, electrical usage, overall use of the house. The fact of the matter is with 6, we're increasing at 50%. So we need to make sure that we're covering the increased water usage, the increased wear and tear. We do it based on single room occupancy. We don't do this. That's why we have it set up the way that we have it set up. We do not do this cramming 6 people into a property. That's not how we do it. We have 6 bedrooms for that. The only thing that we can do is increase the price. So we're happy to have that conversation with you, but we must increase the price. if we're going to account for 6 people. If it's 4 people, that's fine. But if it's 6 people, that's not fine. That's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. 2-1 USA. You. Man, I love international hockey. Oh, I'm such a dork. Master Coach, does that answer it? Yes, 585. Yeah. Yep. 65 LTV. Yep. I didn't hear the interview, but I talked to John. Was it with John? Troy? So, yeah, I talked to John. John is one of my favorite lenders. Yep. I actually did an interview with just the 2 of us. I love working with John. Really, really smart guy. Lets me know up front what the issues are going to be, if there are issues in a deal. So yeah. Yep. I loved working with him. We're working on a deal actually. We're working on a deal right now. On cash out refis. Yep. 65% LTV. Yep. We might even go less. We just want to make sure that we have some debt on the assets because these assets are debt free right now. We want to make sure that we have debt on the assets. Yeah. So, Kathleen was there. Business Insider was there. Yeah. Yeah. Check it out. See if it says anything about me. Kathleen is amazing. Kathleen Elkins is the one. She's written, I don't know. She's written 5 or 6 on me. She's written the same on Dion. I think Zoob's got a few. Millennial Mike has a couple. Cool. Master Coach. Yeah. Try that. Troy, no, I'm going back to the top. Super chats. I go right to super chats. It's a respect thing. You guys want to pay for me to weigh in on something? That's what I do. Hey Matt, should we worry about Section 8 tenants losing payments? No. Did it happen last time he was in charge? Nope. I think that there's going to be some corruption that's going to be pulled. I think they're going to cut a number of employees. I think they have to reform HUD because I think it sucks and it's improperly run. And so, yeah, I think he's going to gut it and he's going to change some things, but I don't see him making a bunch of people homeless and shutting off vouchers. He's a real estate guy. Remember? I don't see that happening. Didn't happen last time. I don't think it happens this time. Aloha from Hawaii, Marcus Shiro. It was good to finally meet you. It was good to do an interview with you too. I had a lot of fun. Let's see. Don't sell. Welcome back, bud. Thank you. Good to be here. Checking in, say hi. Let's go USA. All right, CJ. Yes, let's go USA. I wish I still worked at the Canadian company. Well, at least right now I do. I might not. Rankin, are you done with your fixer, Matt? Great question, Rankin. I'm not done with my fixer. I haven't been there in 2 months. I was super sick from Christmas through all of January between me and my kids. And then I was getting everything ready for the ORAD event and doing all of the stuff on, our spring planning and finishing our taxes. All of our taxes are now done. It was about 13,000 raw pages of data. Yeah. 13,000 raw pages of data. I don't know how big the return will be. I think the return will probably be about, if I had to guess, I would say like 275 pages, I think is how big our return will be this year. But I had to get all that stuff ready. So now, and then was ready for the event, went out to the event, got back, recovery. Next week is school vacation for the kids. And so next week, I fully suspect one of the kids will be out there with me. The kitchen. So here's what I know. The kitchen got delivered today. And they're working on installing it next week. So my belief is next week when I show up, I think the kitchen will be in. I think the cabinets will be in. I think the countertops will be in. And I think at that point we're down to finish paint. I think that's what we're left to do there, and maybe sand the floor. I think that's what we might be down to there. So it's going to be pretty well done. And right now I'm still at about right around 14 something hours because I haven't been there. I literally haven't been there in 2 months. And as far as communication about it, it's like, I'll say, hey, I ordered because in the beginning we take all the measurements. So it's just, they let me know, hey, we're ready for floors and for the cabinets. And so then I just press the button and go, hey, here's the design for the cabinets. Here's the floors. And we order them and then they get installed. And then we get a couple pictures of them being done. And then I just pay the bill. So that's just a press of a button. So that's all my time. Let's see. Key, are you getting in trouble, Key? Are you doing things you shouldn't be doing? I hope not. Really like you and your wife's opening talk. Wish I brought my wife. Herman, you guys should always bring your wives to these things if they're part of not the investing team. You got to bring them. Zoob is going to make that a part of, I think, the event moving forward is successful couples. And that's going to be critical. Jeff and Saleka, how fun were they? How awesome were they? They were a blast. Got to do an interview with them in the podcast room too. Super excited to have that break. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had so much fun with those guys. It was a blast. All-nighter. Key. Part of the problem is the remote for these TVs also work for the Panda Express just next to us in the food court. We've been messing with their screens inadvertently. That's awesome. That's awesome. BPCon is in Vegas also this year. That is true. It's in October. And it is in Vegas this year. I'm so pumped for D. So pumped for him. He's so earned it. Yeah. Congratulations to D. Turn them off and you will get more customers. It's true. That's well done, Kay. Jack Stewart, I thought the comment that would have stuck was when I asked Ashley how she liked her dress. I don't remember that comment. And thank you for the t-shirts. Those t-shirts were awesome. We will, I'll reach out to you. We'll do something. I'm just trying to get clear of it, and kids vacation, but on the other side of it, we should be good. And I had to get through these couple court things too that are all done now. Yeah, so awesome. Congrats to Dion. BP finally figured out Dion's strategy is much more realistic than the BS they were pumping for years. True story, Chris Miller. True story. Jason Callis a little late, got lost in the game. Dude, it's okay. Completely understand. Kyle Dorn, $5 chair. Geez, what a yuppie. Yeah, I know. Totally kidding. Lots of love. All good. Yeah. We never did a series on it just because I didn't want the kids to be thinking about a series. But we still yard sale in the summertime. Sam and I did a couple this year, but we kind of took it easy this summer. Because carrying the baby is such a pain in the butt. Baby can walk now. And so definitely we're going to be doing yard sale in the summer for sure. Let's see. Lazy Person's Guide to Retiring with Rentals. Yeah, there's the video. Thank you very much, Chester. Going live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Recap the some for first-time attendees. Trey Bitter, Jack, and Sarah Garrett. Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, check out Marcus Shiro. Check him out on the channel, on his channel. Financial Firefighter. Robert Finelli. Last time the seller's lawyer wanted to change something, they only changed the wording slightly, milking out that money and making our life difficult. That sounds right, like every attorney. Lars Nielsen, Matt, I like looking in market with multifamily units in parts of town that property managers and Starbucks is afraid to go to. Yeah. So one of the things that Lars was looking in some markets, and they basically were like, we won't go there. We won't manage that. So Pittsburgh's different. Pittsburgh's a great, hardworking city. I know there's a bunch of investors there. I know Mikey's there. Jack is there. But yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Let's see. We talked about that. We talked about Section 8. You might have seen the my Dion Wannabe. Hello, all. Hello, Dion Wannabe. Aim higher. Master Coach, we originally told the new tenant that we'd leave it at 2,500, but thought they only had 4 kids, so we might have some negotiating room with her too. Not sure how much we'd inflate her share. You can't worry about that. It's going to be wear and tear on your property. You want them to stay there as long as you possibly can. The other thing to think about too is that you can always put the raise in for next year after you see if you like them as a tenant. The downside is you give up a lot of income that 1 year. So what I would do is I would be gentle on the front side, and then on your renewal, I would go get it next year. That's what I would be focused on, because they're not going to want to move. Master Coach University, only 5 likes with 50 people listening. Is the button broken? Good question, Master Coach. What are you guys even doing? Are there really that many? I'm literally going to YouTube and I'm going to check on this. You guys better hit that like button. I'm pouring it out here right now for you guys. Jeez-a-loo. Jeez-a-loo. You know what's really funny? I watch myself never. So I'm not even in here. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Boom. Yep. 48 watching. Here, I'm going to have to turn it down so I don't echo this. They're better. 38. I'm going to like myself. 39. Okay. I mean, I guess that's okay. Not trying, everybody. I can't wait. Troy Roberts. I can't wait to play the replay with you and Ashley so my wife can see it. So much we can relate to. Totally agree. I get it. We're couples, right? Like, and that's what this is. Rankin, sweet. Exciting when the finish line is near. Yeah, you and me both. So I think we'll finish it probably we'll be 100% done by the end of March. So it'll go on for April market and we'll see how we do. I'm predicting we're over 300K. The question is, how much over 300K can we get? Can we get to 3.25? Maybe we can. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm seeing a ratio 30 as oh, thanks, Wealth Building Journey. I appreciate that. Wealth Rentals. C4, the improvements feature some minor deferred maintenance and physical deterioration due to the normal wear and tear. The dwelling has been inadequately maintained and requires only minimal repairs. And C4 is enough for them to not give you the deal. I've had it happen. Building components, mechanical systems are cosmetic repairs. All major building components have been adequately maintained and are functionally adequate. C4, description from the appraisal. Oh, 2-2. Damn it to hell. What a bunch of bullshit. I needed 3-1. I needed 3-1, people. But yeah, C4, description from the appraisal. C4 is not good. A lot of times the underwriter will deny that. I hope yours is different. They might have changed the scale too, because mine was worse than that. They might have changed scale. So is it more than C5 now? Interesting. Well, for rentals, note the estimated effective age may be close to or equal to its actual age, reflects a property in which some short-lived building components have been replaced. Interesting. Troy Roberts. So I'm thinking about converting to keyless entry with my units. Yep. Do you know what is better to have keyless entry that you can operate from remotely since I'm out of state? Nope. I don't want that, because that's how easy is that going to be to hack? I want stuff that's air gapped. I want stuff that physically you have to hit the key. It's less convenient, sure, but I want stuff that's air gapped. Yep. Key. Just hit the like button. Thanks, Key. Chris Culp. Matt, so you have any experience with lenders that spoke at the ORAD event? I do. Matt, I'm a mortgage guy. I've worked with him. He was awesome. I haven't worked with Bo because I don't usually small equipment rentals or loan stuff. Steve Dow, I've done a deal with him, maybe 2 deals with him. The other guys that were there for this year, Flip, whatever, I don't remember their name. I didn't do any deals with them. I've not done any with them. And then Jonathan, I'm working on 3 with him. So yeah, I've worked with all of them except for, as far as the real estate stuff, I worked with all of them except for the guy that was at the event this year. Wealth Rentals, and some short-lived building components are at the near, yes, that's correct, are at near the end of the physical life expectancy, however, still function adequately. Most minor repairs have been addressed on an ongoing basis. That's not a C4. That's what they're classifying as a C4, but that's closer to a 2. That's closer to a 2. So they could have inverted it because a 4 is, significant repair needed. Things are at end of mechanical life. Some significant disrepair. That's those. And that's not a 5. The 5 is basically like the house is falling down around you. Chris Culp, Matt, as the budget trims the funding to states, yep, I'm really curious how we could not see some level of Section 8 spend reduction. The reason that you would not is because that is they will fine tune that program, but that's by no means low hanging fruit. It's not. The low hanging fruit is in a bunch of other places. I was talking to an attorney today that said the PPP loans that they're handing out 4-year prison terms like they're candy to people who defrauded the government on PPP. People that defrauded the government on like unemployment, they're creating payback plans. Payback plans. If you defrauded the government on unemployment, they're making payment plans. And then you're on probation. Yep. I love it. I love it. We all had to pay for that. So if you stole, that's what it is, created fraud, then you need to pay it back. Sorry, way it goes. So that's why, Chris, I don't think there's going to be cuts there. I think there's too many other things to cut. I think that they're going to need to fix the system that's going to unearth itself. So as an example, with like Social Security, where you have millions of people over 110 years old that are collecting Social Security, that is going to get shut off. And that is going to save us billions. Yep. Douglas N. Like button works. I just smashed it. Thank you guys. Alex Volos, I appreciate that. Thank you guys for hitting that like button for me. The dialogue in the feed is really good though, so that will help. Agreed. Yes, there's a C5 and a C6. So there used to only be C5. It sounds like they upped it, and there's a reason for that because 4s used to get denied on underwriting. So if now you're seeing 5 and 6, probably what I had that was a 4 is probably now a 5 because like I said, I gave you some of the description differences. But that's probably, I don't know what they'll do. I don't know if they'll kill it on you. They might make you put money in escrow. There's all sorts of new goofy things that they can make you do, but that killed my deal. I was looking for a bank with 7 days before I had to close. That's how bad it got. Troy Roberts, Steve is so damn awesome. Which Steve? Oh, Lending One looks very intriguing. Is Steve Dow? Yeah, Steve is awesome. Yeah, Steve's great. John's awesome too. I worked with both of them. I worked with Matt the Mortgage Guy. They're all awesome, honestly. It really just depends on what kind of lending product you want. But yeah, they're all really, really good. Chris Culp, Matt, thoughts on a nice but older unit where prior tenant painted plank flooring, repaint but with gaps between original planks. Do I overlay LVP or just repaint and poly? Honestly, I would just go if you can make the LVP work. It's the fastest. It's the fastest option and the least risky. That's what I would do. Rankin Projects. I never thought about hacking my keyless entry. I have an Airbnb in Florida and it's all through the app. Yikes. Guys, that's what hackers are going to get better at doing. Think about it. They can get access to a house and they can watch the house and see when it's occupied or not occupied. Just saying. I want stuff air gapped. I come from a tech background. I know how easy it is to hack stuff. I wasn't on the security side. I was on the AI RPA side. But yeah, not interested. I want my stuff air gap. That way they actually have to be at the location with a camera going. If there's a camera, they have to be at the location with the camera going and touching the actual lock to actually attach it and make it turn off or on. If it's web, they can get on that thing. It's a device. Kyle Dorn, got to run, help another investor. Good deal, Kyle. Guys, don't forget to help other people up behind. Absolutely. As we climb the ladder ourselves behind Matt. Absolutely. Thanks for everything you do, Matt. You make such an impact on us. Kyle, happy to do it. You guys know that's what we do. We help others out. That's what we do, guys. Troy Roberts, what do you mean, Matt? PPP was free money like the government was giving to John Doe. Exactly right. And if you took some of that money, you might be going to Sing Sing. Stephen C. Hey, Stephen C. Trevor Arts. Oh yeah, Matt G. We almost talk weekly. Guy's super helpful and knowledgeable. Yeah, Matt's awesome. He really is. Jen Tim. Hi, Jen. How are you? I hope you're doing great. Excited for your new project. I think you guys will absolutely kill it. Just make sure. I'm gonna tell on Jen. Not on purpose though, but kind of on purpose. For those of you guys who do remote, you guys need to know how to manage your property manager. They're making more money than you. Don't let them make more money than you. At least get a better experience from them. The course was built to help people manage their properties. Not only self-managers, but also people that hire property managers so they can know how to manage them. If you guys don't know about a process, they can steal from you. If you don't know how they're doing things, they can steal from you. If you're not giving them the processes that you want to adhere to, they are stealing from you. Guys, I see it all the time. Property managers make more than operators. They do. But they do, especially when the operator isn't managing them to a system and to processes. Manage them to a system, manage them to processes. I guarantee you'll become more profitable. There's no doubt in my mind. It's not about if, it's about absolutely it will happen. Why? Because the way that I do things doesn't promote turnover for tenants, so I have to pay to get it rented again. Honest to God, what a silly approach. It was good talking to you too, Jen. My cameras and everything all on Wi-Fi. Yes, they are, and they can get jacked. But the bigger issue is I care less about. It's not that I care nothing about cameras. I care less about the cameras than I do about people's physical safety, right? And I just my firm belief is that I think it's going to be increasingly. I think you're going to see a lot more crime happening with Airbnbs and non-air gap digital locks. That's my personal opinion. Channel 6 San Diego, greetings. Got lucky, picked up 300 square feet of laminate off Facebook for free. Unfortunately, needed more. The person hit me up and asked if I needed more. So yes, I said, home run. Nailed it. Good job. Congratulations, Channel 6. Lars, Matt, my biggest concern with the CTA requirements is centralizing information with the Treasury Department for hackers to attack. Can you say solar winds? Totally agree with you. Yep. Douglas N. Got you on the earbuds while at the brewery in Odenton, Maryland. Nothing better than listening to Lumberjack while you drink. Key. Jen should join Lumberjack course at least next time. You will love it. Key, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Would love to have you, Jen, and you and your husband. The way that we do husbands, guys, by the way, husbands and wives, we don't charge you twice. We want you taking it together. We believe in the team, so I want you taking it together. Jen Tam, I told Matt I know I'm getting ripped off. I didn't out you. You just outed yourself. I just know that if you have a property manager, you're getting ripped off. You just are. There's things that they're squeezing through onto that list of yours that you're paying for that you should not be paying for. You guys can better manage them. Take the course. Understand what upgrades and fixes should cost. Understand how you should better manage them. Understand how you should market your rental unit better. Guys, I've seen property managers steal my way of renting after somebody introduces it to them. It's okay. I want you doing that. I want you getting the most noise for your units. That's the point. Chris Gulp, Matt, with our township now doing lead checks as part of rental inspections. We just passed 2 units with your tutoring. Yes. Any luck on the lead course release? No, because I expected to be doing that in January before the boot camp and I was sick. So that did not happen. With the kids on vacation next week? No, but I am close to finished. I want to take you guys literally step by step. I'm going to have a lead course. For those of you who are in my normal course and boot camp, you get it for free. I'm not charging you anything more for it. But for those of you who need to understand what ramifications there are going to be in the coming years with the EPA and lead, You guys need to take the course. It will save you tens of thousands of dollars if you just understand the process and how to do it. Let's see. Jason Calcebetta. End of the second, still 2-2. All right, I can live with that. Rankin Projects. I do have the retired neighborhood watch next door. Yeah, that's good. That's good for sure. Yep. But how can they tell the difference between a legal tenant and an illegal tenant? It's kind of the problem. So yeah. Alex Velos. I'm trying to cancel Hemlane software and save on cost. What software do you use to collect rent payments? Thanks again for everything you do. Alex, thanks for the question. Really appreciate that. We use DoorLoop. DoorLoop is $1.99. It's more expensive. Full disclosure, for our 53 buildings and 100 and I don't know how many units we have live on it. I want to say it's like the course saved you $1,200 a year. Very cool. Those are rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers up. I appreciate that it paid for itself in less than a year, but we need to get those numbers up. Farinelli's at 100,000. Trade Better, I think he said it was at 10 grand. Culp, as I know, in the 5 digits. We want to get you pumped up. I want to see return on my course. I want to see it like 3 to 6 months. That's why I priced it the way that I did. Is because I believe I can bring that much value to any business that we touch. On my state question and funding. Wow. Yes. Yep. On the Hemlane thing. So, DoorLoop is $253 a month. And that's for our 53 buildings and our 150 something units. I think that we have live in there. So it's 250 something. But that's monthly, but that gives us everything that we need. That's remote management. That's everything that we need. So we spend $3,000 a year on it, but for our number of units, it's really small. The key is that we can actually put it on the tenants. They can pay in the portal and it charges them only $1.99. So it's not like a percentage charge or anything like that. It's literally $1.99 for their payment. And we can actually put that on them because it's so inexpensive. So we don't pay to collect our rent. They pay to pay their rent for the convenience of it being online. And that's worked out awesome. We have, I don't know what the newest percentages are, but last year we were at like 60 something percent rental collection there. I'd got to believe this year we're going to be in the mid to high 70s. And that's mainly because we have some retirees. And we have Section 8, and Section 8 gives us direct deposit into our account. So on the 20 Section 8 units that we have, they go direct deposit right into our account. Yeah. So they'll never be on the loop system. Yep. So yeah. So Alex, so using my stuff will be more expensive for you. It depends on how you do rent collection, but yeah, DoorLoop, good product. Interest again, full disclosure. We have a couple of good friends, that have, one of them is still on DoorLoop. Another one went to Appfolio. I'm waiting to see what her experience is. We don't have a lot of complaints about DoorLoop is really the honest truth, because we don't have a lot of complaints. Like I'm not like all excited to move. The only reason that we would consider Appfolio, is she said there's a couple of features and functions on there, that allow for like more seamless billing. So I kind of want to see what her experience is with that and see how much she likes that, because basically you create a task. You can create a task for like a handyman, and then they can do submit bill when they're finished with the bill, and they can put notes in there and they can charge it. And then you can hit the pay it button, and then it just automatically debits out of your account and puts it in their account, because they can be set up as a vendor. That's really cool functionality. I won't lie. I kind of love that function. But I'm going to let her use it for 6 months. She's only been on it for 2. I'm going to let her use it for 6 months and then kind of talk about it and see what that looks like. Yeah. Let's see. BuzzTune, met Jack and Steven through boot camp. Those friendships are so valuable now in the same market. That's what we do. I love that, guys. That's exactly what we do here. We create relationships. We understand where each other invest. Yeah, there's just a lot of awesome stuff that happens there. So I'm always really excited about that. Jim Van Tessel, I have a property manager that takes 10% of the contractor maintenance work that is done. So what do the contracts do? They mark the whole job, which is passed on to the landlord. Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. I would tell them that practice is going to stop. Otherwise, you're looking for a different property manager. And I would have the conversation with our property managers first. Guys, that's a negotiable thing. It's a negotiable thing. Yeah. Yep, that's a negotiable thing. That's awesome, Alex. Great value before. Thanks, Hyder. Yeah, I think that, $1,200 a year. I love that number, but I want it bigger. I want it bigger. Bigger. Key, Matt, what's your slogan? You always say slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I'm writing an intro to the potential new landlord. Awesome. Yeah. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Yep. Ranking projects. So do you have any other suggestions for door locks being so far away? I don't do anything that's not, so everything that I have is not air gap is air gapped. So I still love, the Defiance that we use. We just don't have any issues with them unless it goes blinking red and people don't tell us. Sometimes that happens. But that's usually the only thing that happens. So we use, and the Defiance are much less expensive than the Schlogs. You're welcome. You're welcome, Key. But yeah, that's what we usually do. So, I normally never do this, but I'm going to cut it short a little bit tonight. Why? Because my USA is playing Canada and I want to watch the end of the game. And I believe I want to watch the end of the game. I really want to watch it if the US wins. I really don't want to watch it if Canada wins. But guys, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. We have boot camp this Saturday, 8 p.m. boot camp. If you're signed up for it, be there. Be there. Yeah. Boot camp. Lots of fun, guys. Lots of fun this weekend. Then we go hard 11 weeks and then we'll be done May. We'll be done beginning of May. Ever think of mining Bitcoin for heat in Siberia? That's good. No, I've never thought of it. It uses too much energy. And energy is expensive here. Until I get my solar field up. Yes, I'm going to do a solar field. I'm going to do a solar array. Anyway, we're working on that anyway. We're working on the numbers. Guys, have a fantastic rest of your week. Always a great time hanging out with you guys. Dion on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific. Go watch his video. Seriously, go watch his BP video. Leave lots of positive comments. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Hopefully by next week, I'll have my actual voice back. See you guys.